Good evening, I'm Jim Whaley. The new motion picture King of the Gypsies tells a fascinating story about a side of society many don't even know exists. The movie features a number of excellent performances from its large cast, including Sterling Hayden, Shelley Winters, Susan Sarandon, and a very fine actor is my guest tonight, Eric Roberts, who makes his film debut in King of the Gypsies. We'll have several scenes from the movie to show you, so I hope you'll stay with me as I talk with Eric Roberts tonight on Cinema Showcase. Thank you very much for being here tonight. And Eric Roberts, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
You are not only in Atlanta to talk about your movie, King of the Gypsies, but this is really sort of home for you, isn't it?
Well, this is, where I grew up, yeah. In fact, I went all through, grammar school and high school here.
And why did you leave? To get out, to get into films, I guess, or what?
Just to go pursue acting. I left in the first time in the summer of 1973 to go to the Royal Academy, which is in London.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I finished high school and I went to the AADA, which is in New York, and started acting.
I had a friend who studied acting in London and came back absolutely raving about it because of the vast differences, I suppose, in studying acting in London as opposed to in this country. That learning acting there is apparently so much better, or gives you more opportunities than it does here.
Well, the schools there, it's to me it's a very valid technique, but it is, I feel, purely fundamental.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great base. I think every actor has to have that.
Yeah.
But I think there's more, and you have to go find it, and it's hard to find, and it's especially hard to find good teachers because everybody's a critic.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to find what's the word? Like a mirror.
Yeah. Well, did you get a lot of groundwork in what's known as the classics, a lot of Shakespeare, stuff like that?
Oh yeah, and in fact, I grew up in regional theater here in Atlanta, and so I got to play everything from Charlie and a Charlie Brown to a Feste and a Twelfth Night.
Yeah.
So I got you in both ends.
A lot of thorough groundwork there.
Yeah.
King of the Gypsies, as I said in the intro, is I think a fascinating film. Are you pleased with it?
I am very happy with it. I saw an early rough cut of it, and to me it was like a home movie. I hated it. And then after Paul Hirsch edited, it just became a movie.
Yeah.
And I was very happy with it. Yeah.
All right. While you were making it, since this was your first film, did you go to the dailies and watch
Yes.
what you had just seen?
All of them, and it's hard.
I bet there are a lot of actors who say they don't like to see what they just shot because they would always want to do it over again.
Well, you do, but I think it's very valid in that it helps you keep track of your character.
Yeah.
And since we shot all out of sync, it just helps you sort of stay. What's the word? In sync.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is a big asset. And also, you didn't do so well yesterday. You know how to fix it now, and it's a big help.
That would seem to me to be one of the absolutely toughest things about acting in films, as opposed to the stage. That you shoot, and you act out of sequence.
Mm-hmm.
You build up terrific emotion one day, then you stop and have to call up that same emotion in exactly the same place tomorrow. And that would seem to me to be awfully difficult.
Well, it's also hell, with the unions,
Yeah.
because, when they break to have lunch, they break to have
You
lunch.
stop.
That's it, yeah.
We have several scenes from King of the Gypsies. What do we need to know about this first one? Do we need any setting up?
The first scene I think that you're going to see is I've been talked into coming home. I ran away, as a child. And my grandfather, finds me. And he's says that his son, who is my father, is a fool. Try to go home, try to straighten it all out, and I do, but it doesn't work, and
all right.
that's where it picks
We'll
up.
kind of let this scene sort of set the pace. We'll come back and then talk about the picture a little bit more.
All righty.
Here's a scene from King of the Gypsies.
Davy! Davy, where do you see him? So my Davy, I didn't even know who he was. Davy! David! Oh!
Look at him. Look at Big Brother, how Davy, you're terrific.
Come inside. Go. See, you go make some coffee. God, look how gorgeous. Oh, Davy, God.
What's he want?
So tell him I'm home.
He don't want nothing. He's just home, Groffo.
This ain't his home. He ain't got no respect for it. What's he want?
A couple of things around here are gonna change.
Pete, I told you, go make some coffee.
Change. We ain't seen him how many years. He walks in here full of change, like he owns the place. What's he want?
Turn off the TV. I want to talk.
Go ahead, turn off the TV. He just wants to talk to you.
I want to tell you something. As long as I'm here, you ain't never gonna hit me or my mother or Tita again. Do you understand?
Or what? Or what? Or what?
Or I'm gonna kill you.
No,
You're gonna
Davy.
kill me, huh?
Ow!
Don't you?
Don't get out of the way.
You kill me?
Don't. Please. Oh,
I'll carve up his face.
Don't.
I'll make him beautiful.
Crazy, you go to jail.
Yeah,
Don't.
it'll be worth it. You crazy gypsy, you think like a gajo. You got their habits.
I wish to God I was.
A scene from King of the Gypsies, featuring my guest tonight on Cinema Showcase, Eric Roberts. This being your first film, was there anything you had to get used to? Was there any surprises in making a film?
Well, there were lots of surprises, you believe me. What's hard when you're young and you get a big chance is you're the kid on the set. Okay, kid stand here and kid go there, and up until you can bring something to the work that they don't trust you yet, and that was hard to overcome, and but I did with the help of Sterling Hayden, and they're all pros who I got to work with. I can't even talk. I'm so nervous here.
Yeah.
But so it was a big help, and of course Frank.
Yeah, Frank Pierson. Let's talk about some of the people in the cast, because it's a large cast and a marvelous cast.
Oh yeah.
Shelley Winters. What about Shelley? What was she like to work with?
I didn't have any actually scenes with Shelley, but she's a wonderful lady. A wonderful lady.
I would imagine just watching her is kind of a lesson in acting.
Well, it is a lesson, I tell you. She, in fact, an hysterical thing happened one day, on the set. She got hold of a bottle of gasoline by mistake, and she's supposed to be drinking wine. I don't know how it was in this bottle, but she screamed that she was being poisoned and threw herself down on the floor. But, so we had our high points.
Sterling Hayden also is one of those sort of larger-than-life people off-screen as well as on. What was he like to work with?
I think he's probably the most giving actor I've ever worked with, and he has no ego. It's all just lets you get it done and go home. But it's all very healthy, and he was probably my biggest help in confidence in the film.
Yeah.
Because he would just say, don't worry about it, do it, and it's great to hear, and it's also great to hear from an old pro like that. So he was a big help to me.
What about Frank Pierson? This is, I think, only his third film as a director, yet he's an Academy Award winner as a writer and has written lots of other screenplays. What sort of a director is he on the set? Does he let you work things out on your own, or is he very methodical in planning things out?
Well, he is methodical, but he also does. He takes chances, and he also likes actors, which is very nice.
Yeah.
And he'll say, Eric, it stinks, but we'll try it. I mean, he's like that, and but he'll also not not, you know, little, and also like you're not to let you waste time too. And it's good 'cause it's easy to like get in the habit of actually wasting time on the set.
Yeah.
But he won't let you do that, but he does give you a lot of freedom.
You know, there are so many directors, and I'm sure you've probably worked with them, who all but exclude the actor from whatever he's doing. They won't really let the actor contribute. They say, you will move here, and you will move here, and you will say this on this move, and so forth.
Sure.
And to me, that's really cutting the actor out of whatever he can contribute.
Well, it is a team effort. I don't believe personally, you know, that an actor can direct himself, but he does need some like your freedom, and I think like you know, without it, he isn't acting. He's only a tool.
Yeah, it should really be, as you say, a team effort, a happy collaboration between director and actor.
Certainly.
To where they both call on each other. Let's take a look at the second scene we have from King of the Gypsies. What do we need to know about this one?
Okay, this one is I've been gone from home ever since after this your last scene that you saw, and I am bringing home a date, and for the first time in 5 years, here's my mother and my sister, and they're in my apartment, and that's where it starts.
Okay, here's another scene from King of the Gypsies.
How much? 6,000? Has he still got it? No. He blew it at the races, right? What a husband you got. You're like Robin Hood. You steal from the rich and give to the poor. Groffo! Only, Mama, when you steal from the rich, you go to jail. He goes to the track.
You could fix this thing for Tita.
What does that mean?
What I come to tell you before we got off on all this. The old man is dying, and he wants to see you. Davy, he's gonna give the ring and the medallion to you.
Oh, Jesus.
The old man, he don't want to make your father the big man.
Poor Groffo. Mama. See, what you don't understand is we live in a democracy. There are no kings.
Another scene from King of the Gypsies, featuring Eric Roberts, Susan Sarandon, Brooke Shields. That, to me, is really one of the, I think, one of the most powerful scenes in the film. Was that a tough scene to do?
Well, that's sort of my your breaking point, in acting, in the film, because you're not allowed to take any chances. That was about the 5th day, and so I called up the prop man and I said, bring extra coffee cups, and so he brought extra coffee cups, and I just played. It was supposed to be all. Frank wanted it sardonic, I think he called it, and so I just did this, totally different, and he liked it, and so I'm very proud of the fact that it's a good scene.
Oh, I think the scene works very well.
Thank you.
Very well. You studied, I know, in Atlanta. You studied in London. Is there anything that stands out to you as being the most important acting lesson you've learned?
Overall, I think becoming an actor, how to do it is the lesson. I think most actors now, they decide, I'm going to go be an actor. And you don't go and be an actor. You don't go be an engineer. You have to get ready to go be an actor. And back when we had B movies and things, actors had could get ready, to get ready. And they don't seem to take the pride, as much anymore. And I'm speaking, more of actors who are in my age.
Yeah.
And you do have to have that, like, background just to, like, be ready, when the time comes.
What do you ever know when the time comes? I mean, is there ever a point where you say to yourself, okay, I've made it, I am an actor, there's nothing else I can...
Oh, no, well, like, you're never through. You're always, getting ready, to get ready.
Yeah.
But when you're at least, tuned, and you also know, if you're honest, is the other way around, when you're not. So you just have to constantly, you stay with it, and like, not ever underextend yourself, always overextend yourself. And like an expression, my grandfather has is, like, he says, like, do it even if it's wrong. And it's like, and like, you have to.
Yeah. What, who are your idols, or who are your idols as far as actors go?
Well, a man's acting and his career, that I've always loved is a man named Robert Donat.
Oh, yeah.
And, 'cause he, like, started out as a young, like, a leading man, and he grew into, like, a very fine, like, a character actor. And ideally, I would love to have it happen just like that.
Yeah, he was Goodbye, Mr. Chips, he did, and...
39 Steps.
Yeah. I think one of his last movies, he dies, I recall, fairly young, at least in his early 50s. The End of the Sixth Happiness with Ingrid Bergman, I believe, was one of his last marvelous actors. What about the standard idols we always hear about, Marlon Brando or people like that?
I love Marlon Brando. I wish he would come back, to work.
Yeah.
I love Bobby De Niro, but it's hard to name people because then it's I like him or her or him, and I get a lot from almost all of the contemporary stars, as we call them, because we have a great crop of them now, so real talents.
Yeah. Are you at all concerned about being typecast? Because this is a problem that a lot of actors have, particularly if they make a forceful debut in a particular kind of role. It seems that's the only kind of script they're being sent.
Yeah, what, that always happens. It's like I was offered the the Wanderers and the Warriors, and I turned them both down for just exactly that. And people don't I hate the word, but wasp after the film, and so directors think I'm off of the New York streets, so it's kind of funny, but it's also very flattering to me.
Yeah.
But
what kind of roles would you like to do? Is there what are you going to do next?
I'll be doing a thing for a WNET. It's the a Vision series it's called, and it's a Willa Cather short story called Paul's Case. And I'll be doing that in the month of December. That's
kind of a change of pace from King of the Gypsies, isn't it?
Sure.
Let's get some background on King of the Gypsies, because the whole thing is fascinating to me. It was based on the book by Peter Maas.
Right.
And the book itself is not a novel, but rather a sort of factual account of gypsies. And I, for one, had no idea that there were still that many gypsies, or that they were that organized or whatever.
Well, I didn't either. In fact, I read the script, and I didn't believe it. And after I got the role, an undercover cop who's in the Gypsies, contact with the NYPD, took me to a lot of gypsy homes, and it's amazing. I mean, they are an ethnic group. That's a horrible word, ethnic, but they're an ethnic group that wants to stay ethnic, and they're happy with it, and it's amazing to actually see it.
I wonder how many gypsies there are in this country.
I have no idea. In Manhattan, I was told there's close to almost 1 million.
Really?
It's amazing, isn't it?
That is incredible. One thing about the film and the book, it is a bit difficult to form any sympathy for them as a whole. Now, individuals, sure, your character, Susan Sarandon's character, but as a whole, it's rather difficult to feel that much sympathy for them.
I don't think that they want your sympathy. the film, I don't think, is also as much about your gypsies, even though that's, you know, the context, as it is about that someone you're going out into, you know, the world to, like, you know, find and or be something, you know, bigger and or better than, like, you know, what he is and or came from.
Yeah.
And it's just in a whole new kind of, you know, context of, you know, of, like, you know, the gypsies.
Well, how factual is the screenplay?
I'd say to the book, half.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot always has to be invented for dramatic purposes.
Oh,
but,
sure.
I've got to ask you about The Man Who Photographed King of the Gypsies. It's a strikingly photographed film. Sven Nykvist, who is, as everybody knows, is Ingmar Bergman's photographer. How does he work?
Very quietly. He's always, you know, very quiet, and he has this, you know, wonderful accent, and he says, "I need a, you know, Google," and somebody brings him a gel, and but he's a wonderful man, and he's like, you're very shy too. He like, doesn't you talk a lot, and he would like, you know, say, out of the blue sometimes he would say, "You have an eyelash on your face," but he's always right there.
Yeah.
He's an amazing man.
Yeah. What was the collaboration between he and Frank Pierson? Did Pierson leave it up to Nykvist to get the shots, or did
almost completely, as like, you know, far as I know, like at like, you know, night, they, you know, they could have gotten, you know, together, but I don't know. But like on you know, the set, he like, you know, walked in and he like just, you know, set it all up, and like, you know, then your Frank walked in.
It's a beautifully photographed film. Have you seen the finished?
Yes, I have.
The finished movie. That's great. You so you go from here back to L.A.
Yeah.
And then you start the NET thing.
That's right.
Any major movies on the horizon?
Well, I've been offered Godfather 3 by, like, you know, Paramount.
They're really going to do a Godfather 3?
They're really going to do it, yeah. And it would have to be awfully good.
Yeah.
If I were going to do it. I would rather do something like Urban Cowboy, you know, kind of thing, you know, that Esquire story that, like, you know, Jim Bridges, you know, is now doing.
Yeah.
I would like to do something that's completely different, but I just have to, like, you know, wait it out.
Well, I think if Francis Ford Coppola ever finishes Apocalypse Now, maybe he could get back to The Godfather.
I don't think so. They've already got John Gillerman, you know, set.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So after I read the treatment and I talk, you know, with him, I'll, like, him give an answer on that.
Right.
But
well, I want to thank you very much for coming by and talking about King of the Gypsies and
well, thank you
in your second home of Atlanta.
for your time. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, and come back and see us on your next project.
I will.
Thank you very much. One movie causing quite a bit of a stir right now, in addition to King of the Gypsies, is the new multi-million-dollar animated feature from United Artists, Lord of the Rings. In the remaining time, we're going to take a look at several scenes from Lord of the Rings right now.
17 years passed sleepily in the Shire.
All right, just a minute. Gandalf!
Greetings, Frodo.
Gandalf, it's really you. Oh, it's been so long.
17 years since Bilbo left. You look the same as ever, Frodo.
You look older, Gandalf.
Oh, I've been on a long journey.
It's the ring, isn't it? Bilbo's funny magic ring. You always used to look like that when you talked about it.
Bilbo's funny ring? That makes you invisible? Give it to me, Frodo.
Give you the ring?
For a moment only. Can you see any markings on it?
There are none. It's quite a plain ring, really.
Well then, look. Wait. Do you desire it so much already?
No, but why ruin it?
Because it is altogether evil. It will corrupt and destroy anyone who wears it. until he passes into the world of shadows, under the power of Sauron, the Dark Lord of Mordor.
Go back to the land of Mordor and follow me no more.
Come back, come back. To Mordor we will take you. Come back, come back.
Go back.
The ring, the ring.
By all the Shire, you shall have neither the ring nor me.
Scenes from Lord of the Rings. I want to thank my guest, Eric Roberts, and thanks to you for watching. Until next time, good night.